And so I have decided tonight to read this poem. It's written by a terrific poet by the name of Richard Loranger, who I met when I was living in San Francisco many years ago. I had a huge crush on him, and it was not reciprocated, but that was okay. I was used to it at that time. Things have changed. I don't know what's changed, but something has changed. Oh yeah, I became a lesbian separatist. Leave those bad poets. No, there was this fellow. When I first moved to San Francisco, I went there. I grew up in Maryland, and I drove a car across country in 3.5 days from Maryland to San Francisco. And one day I went to my first gay pride parade, which was June of 1989. And I had never been to one before, and I said, okay, I'm just going to stand here. It was in the corner of Castro Market. I'm just going to stand here until a group goes by that looks like people I'd want to hang out with. And then I'm going to just join the parade. That's what I'm going to do. So I watched the parade go by. There was lots of people in rainbow rings and glitter and very festive, and they all looked like a lot of fun. I was like, no. Finally, around the corner comes this tractor pulling a broken down car. And the broken down car was painted to look like a police car. And on the top of the police car, there was, instead of a siren, a huge, well, there was a siren, but not the traditional kind. It was a huge papier-mâché high heel with this drag queen in it who had egg yolks made out of some sort of weird sculptural material as a bra, and this crazy hair, and these big sunglasses, and on the trunk of the car, they had bolted a great big apple crate filled with high heels, and they all had mohawks, and they were all sort of painted all kinds of crazy colors, and combat boots, and they had these high heels, and they were just beating the shit out of this police car. My people. So I went and I joined this crowd, and I became friends with all of them, and the people that sort of organized it were part of this group called Homo Corps. And they had this group in it called the Popstitutes. And the leader of the Popstitutes was Diet Popstitute. He became a big cultural figure in my life, and he started this club called Clubstitute. And we had this group of performers, and we were the sick and twisted players. And we did these kind of shows. We'd take movies and we'd act them out, and we got to play all the parts we wanted to play. We did a production of Wild at Heart. And I got to play Diane Ladd. She was the mother, and she had this great line, and at the time I was married to a lesbian Elvis impersonator by the name of Elvis Herselvis, and she played the Nick Cage part, and I played the mother-in-law, and I was in the bathroom, and I got to say to my drag king husband, I'm gonna cut off your balls and feed them to you. I was very excited. So anyway, so this was my sort of formulative years. And then, of course, so many people died, and Richard wrote this beautiful poem about diet, and I found it recently, and I thought that I would read it for you tonight. It's called Carpe Popstitute. Smashing through the roof beams, the imperious, I threw in an involuntary list, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start again. There are no accidents, that's what my shrink keeps telling me. Smashing through the roof beams, the imperious Popstitute doth rise. His hair tiaras in the sky, his smile unwinds, his mimsy eyes glitter in the neon night. Accessoried and manicured, impeccably attired, he inspects the city sprawled below. He sees the frenzied mammals in the streets. He smells the sweetening sweat of discotheques. He hears the cries of passion in the living room. His smile flares into a laugh, a roar, a mesmerizing and suboral boom that penetrates walls, throbs through groins and genetic codes, and passes in a pulsing hum, an aria of echoes that divorce the future from its course. He lifts his favorite finger and 1,000 lovers come at once. What city quakes before the grinning rake? What army mumbles to his siren song? What chaos blurts his vision through the urgent murk of day? What new species stalks the tender light of cabaret? Crashing through the roof beams, the intrepid son of a bitch doth rise. He stops and looks around the room. The party rages on. He blows a kiss, and with a bow, no doubt, he takes his leave and shuts the door behind. Thrice a night bird screams. Every dancer in the world stands still. A long silence, a dripping sink, a paper rustling at the door. Somewhere, unutterably far, a lone star cracks in the night. Then someone howls, and everyone howls, and everyone stands on tables and howls, and all the radios turn on at once, every music plays at once, every song is sung at once, every heart beats at the same time. Aurora Borealis hits a million near at noon, and the lights are up. The stars careen around the telepathic hive. Every scrap of polyester comes alive. All the dogs dance in the streets. All the flowers bloom in cacophony. Billions of pigeons become balloons and drift into the light. And for a moment, everyone